Action.
Hey.
Hello and welcome to the podcast Two Tickets to Hell. This is episode 2. I am Christian here with my co-host
Ivan?
Ivan, also known as Puppy Face. Ivan. In today's podcast, we are going to be talking about the Steam Deck, as you can currently see on screen. Valve's new
And
Steam
a lot
Deck.
of things.
We're going to talk about what's good, what's bad, and the ugly, and anything in between. But before we begin, make sure you subscribe. If you enjoy reviews and discussions on anything entertainment or anything in general tech, we talk a lot. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff on this podcast. So
We talk a lot, basically.
yeah, stay tuned. And thumbs up is always appreciated. Thank you. Also, leave your comments if you have anything you want to discuss on another podcast.
And if you
Or
don't
this
got a
one.
constructive comment, then go home,
They go
and I
home
hope your grandma
because we
punches you in the
hungry.
throat.
Right? So the Steam Deck. Just to
Yeah.
introduce it real quick before we get into it, the Steam Deck, Valve's new not console but portable PC, is the way they're describing it. It's a way to expand into the portable market, as they've been trying to do, kind of like take more of the territory of the console market. There's a lot of consumers out there who would love to get into PC gaming because they know it's more versatile. There's a lot of options,
hmm
and it ends up lasting a lot longer instead of having to constantly buy a new console, a new console, a new console. You just upgrade the little bits you do have to. But you typically don't even have to upgrade. You can just have the same old PC and just lower the graphics little by little. So it always ends up lasting a lot longer. And so
Yeah,
this is
plus they stopped porting the PS3, so, my
yeah.
consoles are no longer used.
Yeah, exactly. So for those who don't know, it's Steam basically trying to take over into that market and invite new people into the PC community, because then if they go from consoles to this, knowing that they can not only just play it on the little peripherals that it has on the system, but they can also dock it and put in a keyboard and mouse or use other controllers with Bluetooth if they want to. Then eventually they'll just stick with console gamings. We've already seen PlayStation switch over a lot of their games. They're going to start porting a lot of their games onto the Steam store. Microsoft already
hmm
is dedicated to doing more PC based games, not just their Xbox specific. So if Microsoft's doing that, if PlayStation's doing that, and Nintendo eventually might fade into that area, then it's going to be, as everyone's already predicted, is games as a service. So just general idea, Steam Deck, there's 3 different versions you can buy. Uh, Size, storage dependent, and then also extra um, anti-glare glass and extra carrying case if you want to add on those prices. So 399
Memories.
64 gigs, 529 256 gigs, and then 649 for the 512 gigs. So that's it. And I want you to take this discussion because you seem more interested in getting this than I do. So what are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I think, shoot, I want it. I think I want to get one.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Actually, I choose never to guinea pig anything, especially tech. Because I've always been burned by it in the past with
Yeah.
other items, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
The
but no,
virtual boy.
I'm very interested. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm very interested in it. I mean, between you and me, the only thing that I didn't like it too much is the memory.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, you played Warzone. We tried playing the other day. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't download it tonight. I had to download it tonight and play it the next day if we wanted to do that. Like, it's just games are getting so much larger in size. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like the new trend. So I think if they had some sort of like, I don't know. I know there's one thing I will add. There is a micro SD slot
Yeah.
for the unit, so you can always expand it. But of course, it's not SSD. The SSD is limited to what's available, and there's no plans, as far as I understand, and what I've heard, to be able to upgrade it.
Mm.
But I think it's actually a pretty good solution. I mean, I have a Nintendo Switch. I know they came out with their new is it OLED screen? Is that
Yeah.
where it is?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the only
but I
upgrade they
mean,
have right now, which a lot of people were
they're only
upset
that.
at. Yeah.
I mean, I was upset about it. I thought there was gonna be, and like, I'll be honest. Like, I have a Switch. If the new Switch came out and it was like as is, with the new OLED screen, like, I'm not gonna buy one.
Yeah.
Even if it came out with like better memory, I probably wasn't gonna buy one unless it came out with like a, updated joystick or something. Because that stupid uh, Joy-Con drift.
Yeah.
But I think it's a solution for my current, I guess, environment, right? So I got my PC. I use it all the time. The only challenge I think I have is I don't know. I feel like if I'm on the PC, I'm sort of away from you know like the home life, I guess, like my girlfriend, hanging out with my dogs.
Hmm.
So I'm in my office playing,
Yeah.
and it's just like being able to just pull out the portable console and just hang out, watch some TV, sit on the couch, talk, play, and so forth.
Yeah.
That's what I really draw. That's why I really have been using the Switch a lot. It's not necessarily because of what's available, since they haven't released like a new Mario game, or Breath of the Wild 2 kind of got announced this year,
Yeah.
and it's not even coming out until next year. So I mean, really, it's been a couple years since anything new's coming out.
So
So
what are
it's
you
like the only
looking
reason
most
I use
excited
it.
for? Well, what are you currently playing like the most on the Nintendo Switch currently?
Uh, Currently, actually, Rocket League.
Hmm.
I mean, I played all the Mario games like that came out with the whole like remaster. So
Yeah.
it's 64, beat that. Sunshine, beat that, and then Galaxy, which I've never played before, which is awesome. But I beat that too.
Yeah.
So it's like I was doing that for a while, but it's really just Rocket League because there's nothing really out that I can't play on my PC that I don't have that I don't already have.
Yeah.
That I don't know. It's Nintendo has a weird environment where if you want to buy something, you have to pay full price, even though it's like 25 years old,
Yeah.
which I think is frustrating.
Yeah.
So it's like you can get the game on your PC for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't know. It's a very exciting, I don't know, direction for gaming as a whole. The portables, and just having like a portable PC, I think would be great.
Yeah.
So in my personal take, I think I'd probably get one. Be able to play Sea of Thieves, Halo, chilling on the couch. It is a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
sounds like a lot of fun, and also like having it and being able to just like cloud, like I don't know, I'm not gonna butcher it, but they have like some sort of cloud based saving, so
Yeah.
like you can pause your game on the Steam Deck and then it transfers directly over to your PC, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Like I've tried doing that with what's it called? They have like the other Steam device where you like hook up to your TV and like remote play.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember that.
The link, the Steam link.
Steam Link, yeah,
Yeah.
Steam Link. I tried doing that through like a Raspberry Pi, but it was just too slow, like
Yeah.
the input to output. So I don't know. This seems very very promising. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, it does eliminate that whole aspect of, sitting down or going to like your office or desk, sitting down, turning on your computer, starting up your programs, and then starting up a game. If not, you're gonna just carry on with probably scrolling through the internet, Reddit or YouTube, and then just do other stuff instead of actually playing one of the 300 other games that you don't play, like we were literally just talking about before we started.
Oh yeah.
Uh, uh, so I mean, if anything, I'll help you like get into like playing games that you don't play. What I'm excited for is like games that I have wanted on my Switch that haven't ported to the Switch yet, which is the most frustrating thing. Like games like Assetto Corsa would be fun to play like portably. But
Oh
Absolute
yeah.
Drift is one of my favorite driving games, which I've even like messaged the dev and I was like, when are you gonna put this on Steam or the Switch? He's like, we're not currently working on anything right now, but eventually I would like to. I'm like, well, do it. Otherwise, stop talking about updating this game because it's a really fun game.
Oh yeah.
But it's something that like I wouldn't want to play it on a desktop. Um, it just feels like a very portable game. So like little third party games or like was it um those like fourth person perspective games that are looking down and stuff like that, like Diablo and stuff like that, are perfect for it.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like currently, like for me on the Switch is just um, Destroy All Humans. Like we were talking about how like it was a great game, like when it first came out on Xbox and PlayStation, and then it's still a great game. But I'm glad I didn't buy it on my desktop because again, it would have been that whole thing of like, I am going to have to play this game, and whenever I do get on my desktop, I typically end up doing something work related, or I might as well play Counter Strike or Call of Duty. So when it comes to that kind of like small game, I just want to be able to pick it up, play for a bit, like an hour or so, get like sunken into it, play several hours, and then have fun and then put it down because I have to do something instead of like getting to my desk, turning on my computer, pulling up Steam,
Oh man,
starting up the game, loading it,
absolutely.
getting into the game, and then by the time it's all said and done, it's like, all right, now I want to go to a snack. Now go walk to get a snack, then come back here. When here, like
Oh
with the
yeah.
Switch, how you can just like walk around, like grabbing a snack, turn on the microwave, keep playing, go on the
Man,
bathroom, sit on the
that's
bathroom, keep playing, wipe your tush, keep playing, keep playing. Hopefully you didn't mix your hands up, you know.
oh man, no, I tell you, I think that's just I don't know what's going on. I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's just our generation is reaching that age in life where it's just like I don't know about you, but like I'm getting tired. Like I'm just tired at like noon.
I'm
you
tired.
know,
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
yeah,
you
no,
work
it'd be
like 50 hours a week and
yeah.
just going having to just turn on the PC, sit down, and then play like oh I play this game. Well, it's like I have all these options,
I mean, no, no, yeah, yeah,
and
you got me thinking about it right now. As exactly how you're saying, like it is exhausting because, like, you literally, like, as you're saying that, I pictured a scenario where I could see myself getting it now. Like, I'm like, I, I'm, I'm between that, like, I'm still awake, but I also want to lay in my bed, but I'm gonna probably
Mhm.
just play on my phone or like scroll on my phone or whatever. So it'd be dope if I can just like go to bed like I have been doing, and then instead of pulling out my Switch, pull out the Steam Deck and then start playing Sea of Thieves or like play Halo or like yeah, like any of those games because they're also the where the Epic Store is going to be available on. I mean, it's a whole Linux
Oh
system,
yeah, it's a whole
so
yeah
I mean, it
exactly.
might even have
You can even load Windows OS if you wanted to. I mean,
yeah,
I
if you
don't
wanted
think
to.
you should, but
Yeah, I mean, they said
but
it's going
you
to be really
could.
capable because it supposedly it's going to have the ability to like also like run other third party games. So it might be able to play like Warzone on that, which I don't really play games like um was gonna say like on a controller like first person shooters, but what you can do is and what I do is I have this do what I do have is what is it called, a tablet holder that like attaches to like the bed frame, so like sometimes I'll have it like overhanging, and
You
then
plug into the Matrix
yeah,
before you go to sleep.
what I'm looking, so like with my
I got
Switch for
examples.
example,
All right.
yeah, so with my Switch, like I'll have it hanging like right here in my face, and then I'll just like be laying back, like playing like Switch games. So instead of doing that, what you can do is like have a half keyboard, like the ones I have, like the half keyboards where it just
Oh,
has what you need, Bluetooth, and then a Bluetooth mouse, and then you can just be laying back playing Counter Strike or Warzone or something like that.
or
Like now
you
you
can
got
have
me
like a
picturing that.
one of those Bluetooth controllers too, because that's what I was thinking too. Because exactly what you were saying about like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like a struggle. I don't know if it might just be me or us, I guess, but
Yeah,
it's just so wrapped up in life, and like anything just comes up, and you gotta instantly stop and like go back, deal with anything that comes up in life.
yeah,
And it's just it's sometimes a struggle to like have that time, right?
yeah,
To sit down and envelop yourself in like a game. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's why I've been playing a lot of like just I call it like a quick and drop game. Like whether it's
little quickies I
zombies,
call them, little
call,
quickies.
I call it quickies. Like 30 zombies. It's
Yeah,
something I can just boot load in. All right, I'm playing. I gotta sign off and do something else. All right, I'm done. I can't get into like a story game. Like I've been trying to get back into Red Dead Redemption.
yeah,
And this is something I told G-Rod last time we spoke.
yeah,
But like I really want to play it. I have it for the PlayStation.
yeah.
I haven't gotten the chance to play it because one, I don't know if like I have the time to just turn on the console, turn on the TV, just sit down and play and get engrossed in the story
Yeah,
per se. Like I wish I had the option to just boom, I'm in. All right, I'm done. I put it down and I do something else and I come back. I don't know. And I think if that's why I would like to. My imagination is like I could play Red Dead Redemption
yeah,
and just hang on the couch, say save it, and I have time, boot it up on the PC, lay down in bed, play it before I go to sleep. I
yeah,
don't know, stuff like that. Just getting engrossed in the story because I haven't been a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of story based games
yeah.
that I just haven't had.
Yeah, no, that's a excellent point because I like we had talked about it before too is like how the reason why, and you'll remember this, like the reason why I wasn't gonna get Death Stranding is because it looks like it's a really long, slow game that it would really take time, and the only way I'd play it is if it came out on the Switch. Now look at this coming out, I'd definitely play Death Stranding like in a heartbeat on this, like just like sitting there on my couch, just playing it while I'm watching like a movie, like, and then pause the movie when there's actually exposition going on, and then continue. You know, what I mean, like that sounds relaxing to me,
Yeah,
and I could do that.
just sit down and enjoy it, and just,
Yeah,
you know, I feel like for the most part, um, I don't know. I guess as an old man yelling at the sky,
yeah,
but it's like, stories have like gameplay and stories have gotten so like complex and interesting. And it's really like, I think I don't know, maybe it sounds a little romanticized, but it's like like a renaissance in like games, right? There's so many games that have like such stories and like different ideas and so many options, like compared to 10 years ago
yeah.
where everything was like a clone of everything else.
Well,
But
where a
like,
lot of that comes from is the fact that creating a single player game, they'll tell you like what is easier, a single player game or a multiplayer game. A single player game because it's cut and dry. It's from beginning to end. It's cut and dry because you're just gonna create this. You write a story, you create the story, you make the story, and then you build it like, and then when the story's all done, you complete it. Unless obviously it's cyberpunk. But the point is not to roast cyberpunk. But the point is if you're creating a multiplayer game though, you have to think about networking and balancing, and then hackers. Like so, those three things keep the constant multiplayer like having to keep up on its own tail, like chasing its own tail. Like if it's not hackers breaking the game, it's a balancing issue because people have figured out either exploits or have gotten too good and now the game is stale. And
that
then
makes sense.
yeah, and then networking because different systems come out, they don't work, or there needs to be crossplay, or the PlayStation 4 doesn't work for the PlayStation 3 games that are crossplay. Like so when it comes to multiplayer, it's they're starting to realize like, oh, it's not as easy because the upkeep cost is more expensive than a game that we can be like, well, it's done, we're done, and then like, oh well, but it's broken because when I get to this boss, I can't pass it. Quick patch and it's done. Otherwise, they're like, "Hey, we're done. We're working on another game. It's done. It's done." Because like the same thing happened to Aliens. Remember, Aliens: Colonial Marines, broken game. They never even bothered fixing it until one hacker, not a hacker, a modder, figured out like there was a spelling error to one of the lines that had the aliens attaching to the map mesh, so they couldn't walk properly. Once you fix that, the whole game was fixed. It's all corrected. But the developers didn't do that. The publishers didn't do that because to them, it's cut and dry. It's done. We don't care. We're not getting paid for it anymore. Why the hell would we do it? But when it comes to like,
Just like the GTA Online.
yeah, with everything that's happening on Activision Blizzard right now, there's like this kind of like, uh, everyone in the Call of Duty like community is trying to get as much of the game as they can before there's a massive strike and the game goes down. Because like who's gonna
Um,
update the game if like all the developers are striking because of what's going on over there. So it's like that kind of creates that like the issues with games. But that's where that renaissance is coming from. Not to take away, but to kind of say like, I think it's funny how like a part of maturing, like which the game industry is doing, is also becoming wise. So as they be mature, they become wise. As they be mature, become wise, and they're starting to realize like, oh, okay, we can do both. Because how it used to be just one single player, then single player, multiplayer, then multiplayer only. Like hell, we can do games of service and we can charge people for all these like cosmetics. And then they're starting to realize it's a lot of upkeep costs. Well, let's also do single players once in a while to like pay for like all this extra stuff. Um,
oh yeah. And also, actually, that also brings a good point too, because I feel like a lot of these games that are like I would like to play. Because I don't know, this might just be me. I mean, a lot of these games like I never got a chance to play the first time around, and I bought them on PC,
yeah.
and I never touched them. You know what I mean? Like
Raise
I
your
got a
hand
bunch
out there if you've played Red Dead Redemption, got past the snow area, and then called it good.
of.
Me twice.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Like if you ever, I don't know, I never got past the first level of Bioshock.
What?
I have all the games. I have all the Bioshocks. Look,
Yeah.
that's how bad it is. Let me tell you how bad it is. I got all the Bioshocks,
Yeah.
and I got all the Bioshock remasters. I have 2 copies of Bioshock on my PC,
Big ol' yikes.
and I got 0 minutes on any of them because I'm just like, oh well,
Yeah.
I gotta get into the story, and I don't want to start the story and then not remember what the hell's going on,
Yeah.
and then
See.
have to restart it 3 months from now. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
just wait until I got time to play it,
and and,
and
and
it's
it's funny you
been
get
a long
yourself
time.
excited for those things like the idea of like the whole Tomb Raider trilogy like or Red Dead like being able to like cut through all that dry exposition which is fun and it's intriguing but at the same time it's like okay I got shit to do I gotta go I gotta be somewhere I gotta get in line for this or that it'd be awesome to be able to pull it out and be like well okay that's what's happening to Arthur in Red Dead Redemption 2 okay yeah okay Tomb Raider let's do this like and then be able to like this is an action scene all right let me pause it and then go back to the car, start the car, and then be like, let me knock this out real quick. Okay, cool. Like pause it. Like let's go. Life keeps moving. I ain't got time to like do all these like long term games, especially like that whole meme of like, it sucks when you've had like a long ass day at work and then you just want to get home and play games, and all these sweaty boys who have been playing all day long like
Oh
are
man,
whipping your
I used
ass.
to be that. I used to be the sweaty one. Now I'm not the sweaty one, and it sucks.
Yeah, now you're sweating at
Like
work.
now I'm sweating at work, man. It
Yeah,
sucks. Like but yeah, I know exactly. I relate to that because it's
yeah,
just like that's why I've been sticking to like just like one set of games because like I haven't gotten back into like Warzone.
yeah,
I know it's like blasphemy to say, but like I wanted to get into like even just PUBG. I would say because
yeah,
like I thought it was really fun. Everyone's playing it, but like at the time it was just like engineering school and then graduating and working. So it's like getting the time to like understand the mechanics. Like
yeah,
I didn't have the time for that at that moment.
yeah,
So then when I finally did have the time on like the weekend or something, like for like like 30 minutes just to get into it,
yeah.
and it's just me playing, hiking for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then I get shot, and then I'm like, oh, I just wasted my fucking afternoon.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I don't know. It's like there's a lot of games you need a lot of time to get good at it, and I think having a portable like the Steam Deck,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's gonna make me good or anything,
It's
but
a godsend.
it's not Game Shark, but at least I think I'd be able to play more. I don't know.
Well, so like I mean, this part of the discussion really is more of a fact of like the why. Like, why is this even coming? Other than why are they even doing this? Like, who is this for? And
For
I
money.
mean, not just for money, but also like we understand where the need is there for like people who don't have the time but have the want. And I mean that's like for both of us. So I mean, like it's gonna be awesome to see, especially because like how it's like how they partnered with AMD to create Steam Deck's custom APU optimized for handling
Oh yeah.
gaming. It is a Zen 2 plus RDNA 2 Power Horse, delivering more than enough performance to run the latest AAA games in very efficient power envelope. So that's a combination of like being able to
Battery
battery
life,
life and then handling it.
sustainability.
So I don't really care
Yeah.
about battery life because for the most part I don't mind being plugged in. The same thing happens with my Switch. I never really play the Switch and I'm like, oh, I gotta finish this before my battery dies. I usually will just plug it in as much as my phone. But
I'm the opposite.
yeah, right. but
I,
where it makes me bring it up is thinking about like games like and going back to like what you said is I really don't like being a beta tester for like new tech. So that's where my concern is like how is it going to run stuff? Because it would be cool like because we see it
yeah.
handling like Doom Eternal and like uh Death
Well,
Stranding
that's
it did.
that's one thing I will say. Like
Mm.
I'm not gonna sell anybody on the fact that this is gonna run 3090 RTX level games. Like that's not realistic. Like from what I've seen, what I've heard is that it
Like see there
can
right there
run.
handling Jedi Fallen Order, Halo. I think
Yeah,
that's
like
Halo.
I'm saying, I think, and I'm hopeful. Like my expectations are this: I want to be able to run for the most games. I'm not saying Microsoft Flight Simulator or anything. Like I want to be able to run most AAA games as good as current gen. Not maybe not Series X, PS4, or PS5 per se. Maybe like PS4 level games on a console, like a handheld. Like I'm talking, like I'm used to N-Gage level gaming,
Engage,
on a
yeah.
handheld.
See, and
So I think that's where I'd be satisfied.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like 4K, 144 hertz, but at the same time, I think we can both agree. I just don't want to be pissed while I'm playing it. I don't want to think this was a waste of money, especially like because how they put here like a picture of Dying Light, uh, Dying Light would be sounds like it's heavy. I think this is, I can't tell what that is.
Oh, that's
Uh,
Cloud Runner. Or
yeah,
not
and
Cloud.
then
I got them.
Jedi Fallen Order. Like these three games and Death Stranding, these three games alone like seem pretty heavy, like as far as like workload.
Ghost Runner.
Maybe No Man's Sky and stuff like that. But I do want to be able to run Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially if it's coming out on Xbox One X. And for the most part, a lot of those would be like having the base files, and then the rest of it's over the net anyway. Um,
You think it could run?
I think it could.
Sorry, I'll take it back. Would you be upset if it couldn't run Flight Simulator?
Yes, yeah,
Assuming it can run everything else.
yeah. No, because if it can run Red Dead 2, it should be able to run Flight Simulator. There's nothing about Flight Simulator that is um so advanced that it shouldn't be able to. Everything that
Man, you
Microsoft
should
Flight
tell that to
Simulator,
my PC because it's
right?
been
Well,
struggling.
well, that is the fault of Asobo Studios. Not to blame them. Like they effed up, but I mean it's part of like their whole. This is gonna be a 10-year development. And they're gonna keep working on it. Like they still haven't even fixed the trim. Like how like when you're flying and then.
Oh
Like
yeah.
eventually it starts to do a suicidal pitch and then like for no reason it's been doing that since it was in beta, and the fact that it still does it to this day, people have been complaining for a long time that it's still not optimized. That's why I was struggling to run in VR too. And
Oh god.
yeah, again, not to blame them, but it's the fact that the game is not done. When the game is done and it's optimized, I think it can run it. But if you're telling me if it can't even run it when it's optimized on a low end computer, if it can run optimized on a low end computer but can't run on the Steam Deck, then what's the point of even having this?
Well,
Um,
that's what I'm saying. I would argue that at least like Microsoft Flight Simulator, in my opinion, I would say,
yeah,
is like the new Crisis.
yeah,
Because like I don't know anybody that can run Flight Simulator on like consistent frames per second.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Even on the lowest settings.
yeah.
Like
But that's
I
not
just
even
don't
like
see it.
about
Like
hardware at that point. That's about the software that's not optimized to run on.
that's what I'm getting to. Is
Yeah,
like if the Steam Deck couldn't run it, I personally, not it's my opinion, is like I don't know if it's a fault on the Steam Deck. I think it's just a fault on the game not being able to run on low settings. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like if it looks choppy, like, and I'm on the lowest settings, like if I gotta buy a whole Boeing level system to run it, like is that really worth a $60 entry fee for this game?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's just been my personal experience with it. It's been really fun, but it's just been like I don't know. There's been some chopping.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, what game are you, other than Red Dead, are you looking most forward to trying on it?
Honestly, like my entire life, my entire life. Well, not my entire life. My most of my library.
Just going through it
I
little by
just
little.
little by little. Like I mean, I've seen the videos for like Doom Eternal running on the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
Like that's been when it looks pretty good. But like, there's a bunch of like I don't know. I'll be honest. I have a bunch of crap on my Steam library. So don't ever. I guess I don't know if I'm the right person to talk to for this.
hmm.
But like, there's a bunch of old games that I've never gotten the chance to play, either because I was too poor or I just didn't, I don't know, get it when it was popular.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff I've been trying to get into, like Resident Evil 2,
Mm.
not the old one, from the 90s, but the remaster.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
No, that'd be dope. Like playing all those games, like the what was it, Village, Resident Evil Village's new one.
Village,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
No, I'm
You
interested
know,
to see because I'm struggling with the whole
Aliens.
thing of like, yeah, right, or the new Alien Elite.
Oh, I don't know about that,
Yeah.
but you know,
But I mean, it'll be interesting to
but
see, like, as far as like what it can handle, and if it handles it good, if it struggles, if it's fun on multiplayer. There's so many questions that obviously are going to be answered once like it's in the
yeah,
hands of
once it gets
consumers.
released for review, I guess
Yeah,
that's
but
what I'm
I
waiting
also
for.
want to see like how are they going to keep up with it because like Valve is not really Valve is like Google. They're known for like creating shit
Well, it is
and
very
then
much like Google.
yeah, creating stuff and then just being like, that's it. Like, well, are
It's
you
like,
gonna come up
hey,
with a
well,
new
we
one,
tried.
version two? Why? Like, whether it's like Google Glass or any of the Google like products, like they kind of just like do one and
Yeah,
then Like, so it's
I guess it depends on how much money they make, right? Well, I don't know. Actually, no, never mind. Because Left 4 Dead 2 made a shitload of money. They ain't making Left 4 Dead 3,
yeah, why
so
not?
who knows? Who
Why
knows?
not? They don't even have to try. They can literally like not try and they'd still make a lot of money. Like, what is keeping them from like keeping up with this stuff? Why isn't there
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. This is my ready for this conspiracy level
hit me Q.
Q QAnon level 97.
Hit me with it.
It's because they're waiting for Orange Box 2.
3 Orange Box 3, all
Orange
threes.
Box 3. All threes. Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3, and Half-Life 3.
God, it would
All
be
the
fun to
same.
play
And Team
Left 4
Fortress
Dead on
3.
this, right?
That would be cool. You know,
That'd be
you know
fun.
what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
this online multiplayer, just, mods. Like, there's just so much stuff. But,
But
like, I
see,
think,
so that's what's keeping me though from doing it is the fact that like so if I get it right now, awesome. The math, how I do math when it comes to spending money on entertainment and stuff like that is like uh cost per hour per entertainment. So the price of a matinee movie ticket, like what, $10, right, per person. So
it's been a while.
if
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
right, if it's $400 for the base, and then you put in 10 divide by $10 a movie, then it'd be like watching 40 movies. If you were able to watch 40 movies and you got enough entertainment out of it, then it would be the same as buying one of these. That's how I always do my math. If I can justify that, then I feel like I've got my money's worth out of it. That's how I felt with the HTC Vive.
That's
Put
true.
enough in it, and I
But
feel like, you know what? I got my money back.
here's the question. And I
Mhm.
guess this is like the real question, right? Like if you have a portable, because there's other ones in the market besides Switch,
Yeah.
but if you have one like a Switch, how many hours have you put on it?
On my Nintendo Switch right now,
Yeah,
not enough
since
to
you got it.
justify it. Definitely not enough.
There you go. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like if your Switch, again, I know that's kind of apples to oranges, but it's like if it could run it, you would.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna put more, because the Switch ain't cheap, you know what I mean? It's like $300,
Yeah, they haven't
350
even lowered the
really.
price.
They haven't lowered the price. They're never gonna lower the price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, would you play this more than the Switch? Is the question I would ask.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely play it more than Switch. Well,
And
it
that
depends because at the same time it would suck if the load times are so slow on this. I'm playing my Switch while I'm waiting for a game to load on this. I keep the Switch taped to the back of it like it's a magazine, and I just like um. But I mean, yeah, that would it really depends, and I do I would love to get one, but to me, like, it would suck if I get one and then it turns out like, oh, I was wrong about Valve. They're actually wanting to make a new one in a year and a half. They already were working
oh,
on one,
the
and
Apple approach.
yeah, and then it's like, okay, like, well, I should have waited. I literally
So,
just spent six
thanks
hundred
for
and
your
fifty
money.
bucks.
We
Yeah,
needed it to build a better one.
yeah. But then at the same time, they probably won't do that, and it would suck to like now have to wait for one, because it was already
It's
a wait to get the Valve Index.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't know if you want to follow this advice,
Hmm.
but like I'm definitely if I'm gonna get one, and I know this can't apply to everybody, but I'm gonna get the nicest,
Which one?
like the highest tier one. What was that?
649.
Almost 600. Yeah, $600.
Yeah.
It has the most memory, which to me is, I mean,
Fastest
I don't know.
storage, premium
Growing
anti-glare,
up
edge
with
glass. Which
very, very tough
I don't know if you saw that
environment with
Linus
no.
Tech Tip video where he was
Oh yeah, with
messing
edge
with it.
glass. Yeah,
Yeah, looks like it's
I
actually
think.
worth it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like. I mean, the edge glass alone probably worth it,
Yeah,
but definitely the memory. I just
I
I
like when they
can't
add like
justify
BS like
like
exclusive
I.
virtual keyboard theme.
It's a lot of baloney to me, but that sounds
Yeah,
like marketing speak. But definitely never gonna get the 64 gigs just because like I would have to immediately get an asset micro SD card,
yeah.
right? And I mean, what is the difference between I can't really read 400 right to 530
For a micro SD
from
or what?
64 to 256 the cost?
Uh oh, you're talking about size?
No, the base price.
Oh,
What is
the
that?
base is 399.
Yeah, $400 to
Yeah,
$130, right?
yeah,
Like I'm gonna have to, like immediately I'm gonna have to spend money on the micro SD card because I can't even run I don't know, Call of Duty without getting that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
64 gigs in this today's day and age is not enough.
Yeah, and it
You know,
requires a very specific type of SD card, which I'll pull up right now so you can see.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's just like immediately that's a net. So
So
it's
let's,
between really like the mid tier and then the higher tier,
yes.
and just the edge glass alone, and plus the higher memory. I'm just like, well, might as well just get it.
Well, look, you could have a bunch of these. Like it's like $20 almost for like 120, 60. You could have a whole game on this.
That's what I'm saying. I would need at least. I mean, I don't
Like
know if they have a
several.
terabyte or half a terabyte micro SD, but
They
like
do.
that's what you would
They're
need.
really expensive.
That's what I'm saying. You would need that
Yeah.
personally, because like, what are you gonna swap every single? It's like a
There's a 1 terabyte
Nintendo.
for $200,
That's what I'm saying. It's
and
like
that's
you're going to
actually
have to
the
spend a
right
lot of money.
version too. It costs
You understand?
almost $100 less than the entire console itself.
The higher tier, yeah. Man, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's
And
like
that's
we might as
dependent
well get
because
the
nobody even knows how quickly it loads and if it's worth it or should you have a multiple like. So it's interesting. It's just saying one of the look at this.
150
Yeah, the difference
down
of
there,
price
right?
too. 512 in this Delkin or whatever. Never heard of it.
Delca, I never heard of that. You know, it's gonna run like poo poo, so
That
you
sounds
might as well
sus.
get the.
Sus.
Sounds really slow.
Call meeting. Boom. Dun, dun,
So that's
dun.
what I'm saying. It's like if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get the higher tier one,
Yeah. See these
just
numbers?
so
The
memory
one
and
and
the
three.
other
I
three.
don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in. That's how you can identify it. 1, 2, or 3. There 2 or 3 is what they said it will take. So like how
Oh,
there's like
two
a
or
really cheap 400 gig one. See, not bad,
3.
but it
Mm-hmm.
won't run that. This is speed dependent.
See, we're giving you a consumer advice,
We already did
and
our bats.
so
Yeah,
I
but
know. Here's what we can do. I can get one, and if it sucks, I'll let you know. And if you want it, I let you borrow it. I don't know.
yeah, Varret. We can play.
It'll be like a timeshare. We could
Yeah.
put you in on
I
this
mean, this
Steam
would have
Deck.
been something great, like especially like with my job where I travel a lot. Like, cause right now I take my Razer laptop, which sucks because I mean it's awesome, but what sucks is the fact that like I'm worried about it breaking, so I carry it in my carry on. But what sucks is that in my carry on, I have to take it out of the back, or I have to open up my backpack. I have to take out my laptop case out of my backpack because I put it in its own laptop case in my backpack so it doesn't get crushed or liquids dropped on it. I take out the laptop case. I open up the laptop case. I take out the laptop. I put it on the thing, and then I zip up the laptop case, and then I take out my Nintendo Switch case, and then I open up the Nintendo Switch, and then I put it on the thing, and then I take out my work laptop, and then I take it out of its bag, and then I put it on the thing, like so, and then I take out one phone, and then I take out the other phone, and then I'm like, all right, now I take off all my shoes, and everybody's looking at me like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like I'm gonna go into the airport and start hacking around. I'm in, like. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
having
and
like
plus
this would be
but
great. Is instead of like bringing my
and
Switch,
you
and instead
travel
of bringing a
for
gaming
anybody
laptop.
that anybody that doesn't know. Chris travels a lot, so it's not like he's going to Milwaukee once every 6 months,
Or traveling downtown.
traveling to downtown.
Yeah, like an airport.
It's like 60 fucking airports. It adds up.
Yeah. Which
So
I don't even like unless I have a really long layover, I don't even take out my laptop because like it would be fun to take out my laptop and play some games on my computer and then close it. But even what sucks about the laptop is that uh, the internal memory is very small. So I end up
uh,
having to plug in external hard drives. Right now, my laptop's like sitting right there with like two separate hard drives plugged into them, both 2 terabytes, and then both are fully loaded with like games themselves. So if I'm struggling right there with a full gaming laptop that's $1,700 itself, then what about this? What am I gonna do with this? I have a bunch of SSD cards, which fine, but that costs way more. Like a 2 terabyte hard drive is like what like between like 60 and $80 depending on where you get it. And then we just literally saw like how much these like micro SD cards are. Like this, like
well,
$40 for this.
I don't know if this is true, but I think you can hook it up to USB.
Yeah, I mean, there's the whole docking station, and you'll be. I'm sure you'll be able to like. Here, where is it? Yeah, because there's. You'll. I'm sure you'll be able to hook up a portable hard drive. Like, I'm not worried about that. It's just. It'll be interesting. It's really that's all I'm saying is it's gonna be interesting because then you can have like you can have. Because what's great about Steam's like file system is like Say
Oh,
if
you
you
can
and
buy,
I,
yeah.
and this is what we ended up doing, like in Africa, for example, like I just bought Star Wars Squadrons, for example, and then someone else bought it, but they haven't downloaded it because it takes days to download over there. So then I'm like, oh, let me just copy the hard drive or the files onto your hard drive, and then all he has to do is put it on his hard drive, and then right click on Steam, and then verify integrity of files, and then the hard drive's like, boom, oh, it's all here. Okay, good, you're good to go. Instead of him having to download it. So I mean, I'm sure Steam has made it this as fluid too. So I'm not too worried there, but it would kind of suck if like you're constantly having to like take things in and out, just like it's a Switch again. You know, especially when you're
Uh,
talking about like PC games, like Sea of Thieves, that's like several gigs, like Warzone, that's like hundreds of gigs. Uh,
the Warzone's
Flight
in its
Sim,
own
that's
league, I
hundred of
think.
gigs. Yeah, and then GTA 5, and then 6 whenever that comes
Oh
out,
man,
and then Elder
that's
Scrolls when that comes out. I mean, there's gonna be great games that are gonna come out on it, but I mean, it's gonna be like, oh, are you gonna get Elder Scrolls 6? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I first got to buy a new SSD. Like, it'll be interesting. It is going to be interesting, especially it's going to be an interesting to see how it brings a lot of like the console gamers into it. I think that's where the first people that really need to adopt it is like console gamers that do not have a desktop, that do not have a gaming laptop, that have been wanting to get into it, but have been like turned away by it. Um, so yeah, I mean, what do you think as far as like the control peripherals?
I
Because
think it's actually
I
it's
don't
not
really
too
care about
bad.
the switches.
I the Switch sucks.
It
I'll be honest.
hurts.
And sorry if there's anybody that never listens to this that's a fanboy of the Switch. But man, I've already had to buy like three of these fucking $80 goddamn controllers.
You have Joy-Con
You
drift
know
or
what I
what?
mean? Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, I'm spending good hard-earned money on this stupid ass. Like, and that's not even. Don't get me
And
started on
that's
the
where
like
this is coming
ergonomics of
from.
it.
This is where this is coming from, where they're talking about it, them working on it, making sure it's comfortable and fluid, is because
That's what they
Joy-Con
said.
drift
But you
eventually
can,
happens.
yeah, and that's just like a nature of the mechanics of like the mechatronics, right,
Yeah.
of the controller.
Hmm.
But I mean, like, if I buy this and it has a fucking Joy-Con, I'm gonna be pissed. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Oh,
at least the
especially
Switch
how
you
you
can
can't slide it in and out too. You'd have to ship the
same
whole
things. You
thing
got
off to Valve to
and
fix.
that's why I have a bunch of very smart engineers working on this. So I'm holding my breath, and I'm not gonna guinea pig it,
Mm.
but I'm gonna be hopefully optimistic that they're not doing the same cheapo moves that Nintendo's doing.
Yeah, I mean,
Because at the very least, they're trying, right? Nintendo is not trying.
yeah,
They said we'll gladly take your money. What are you gonna do? Sue us?
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well, that's where like my recommendation. I don't own one yet, but like my recommendation would be like using the actual peripherals on the device itself. I would use that 50% of the time or less. Like, so my laptop itself, I don't use the
Mhm.
keyboard on the laptop. I already had a gaming laptop, and eventually it broke because if you're playing games on it, you're pushing down on the keyboard. What do you think's underneath the keyboard? The motherboard. Like, eventually you're gonna break stuff. You're putting enough pressure, and the heat from the because it's like the keyboard, then between the keyboard, then the motherboard, which sits the CPU and the video card, the GPU, and then all the different chips, and then below that is the battery. Like, so you're telling me there's all this heat here, and you're just gonna constantly push on that glue and silicone and not expect it to break? So like for my gaming laptop,
True.
I've probably the only touch it gets from me is me turning it on, and then it's a keyboard, and I use that when I'm downrange, and then also use an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller or a different peripheral or a half keyboard and a mouse, like a Bluetooth mouse, because like my main point is like the less I can touch it, the less likely for it to break, and I would do that with this if I can't change out the the sticks on it. I would rather just do that. Is like have that hoist like I told you, like the $30 mount that you can attach it to a nightstand, a table, or anything. Have it hooked up and then just have it facing you all comfortably. And now you can just sit back with a screen facing about like this close, and then just a controller on your lap, relaxing, a comfortable controller you're used to, whether it's a PlayStation controller, a Nintendo Switch controller, or an Xbox controller, or a keyboard and mouse, and just sit there comfortably. Because it's funny how a lot of people think it's important to have a big old TV or screen, And wouldn't it be great to have a 120-inch monitor or TV or an 80-inch TV, right? Um, but why do you need that if you can like literally have it this close to your face? It's the exact same thing. It's literally the exact same
Oh yeah.
thing as having your. But the difference is instead of it being like 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 feet away from you, it's what like about like 5, 10 inches away from your face. It's the exact same thing. That's why it's so ridiculous when people spend god awful amount of money. I need a gaming laptop with 4K resolution and 144 hertz, and it's like, why do you need 4K first of all for a laptop that's only gonna sit like about a foot away from your face? Like you're already gonna see the pixels anyway. Like even if it's like super high resolution, you're gonna see the screen. And most of the time it doesn't matter where high resolution matters is on a bigger screen because the everything's going to be a lot bigger, like the pixels are going to be a lot bigger, like the actual like what little led or oled like color bars are a lot bigger, but if it's a high resolution they aren't bigger, they're a lot smaller. So that's why I bring it to, if you're talking about a smaller screen and everything's already smaller, like I'm not really worried about resolution. But having something like this, like yeah, you can set it up comfortably, and it'd be great to have a comfortable setup where it's like, oh, this is the equivalent of having an 80-inch TV sitting a couple feet away from me. That's exactly what happens. Like I can either play on my 80-inch TV downstairs, 4K, playing um what's it called, Destroy All Humans on the PlayStation, or I can have my Nintendo Switch sitting this close to my face and then do the exact same thing playing it. Like
Oh yeah.
that's where it's like just at that point, like I'd recommend avoiding Joy-Con drift by not using those peripherals as much as you can avoid it. You know what I mean? Because eventually they're gonna get
Well, and
abused,
that's yeah.
especially while you're
But
playing
that's
Doom.
also the challenge with the stupid. Well, going back to Nintendo peripherals, like, well, you gotta stick to what Nintendo sells you, right?
Yeah.
Like that's my frustration. Is like, oh, you got a problem with this? Well, here's a solution that's only going to cost you $89.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like they're not trying to fix it, you
Yeah.
know, and you're stuck with what they give you. So this is when when this first got announced, I was like, all right, whatever. But then as soon as I heard it was a PC, like it's just literally a portable PC, I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I'm in. Like
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm a believer,
A
but
believer.
I'm definitely listening and I'm definitely interested.
Yeah.
Just because I know that because it's a PC, I can essentially do whatever the hell I want to do. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If I want to an Xbox or PlayStation or the Dreamcast controller, like I could do that if I want to,
You know.
and I'm not limited to the environment that they're selling me. And I think that's a big thing that if you're not used to like I guess like if you're from a console and you're sort of interested in like a PC or something like that, that's like a huge step
Yeah.
that, that
Into a
you don't
new
think
whole new
about.
world. A whole
You don't think
new world.
I'll be the first one to say like I didn't think a lot about it, and I
Yeah.
was like, all right, what? And then I was like, oh hey, like I got this old ass Genki 360 controller I can just plug into my PC and play whatever I
Yeah.
want. All right,
And now you can do it into
cool.
this.
$10, $5. Fuck yeah, you know.
Yeah. Well, what's awesome is like if it does allow like third party apps and like ROMs and emulators and stuff like that, you could like
Oh,
play
that's a
like
whole
old
nother
Nintendo games.
conversation.
Yeah, and then
Oh
also
yeah.
how like the you have like the docking station and USB-C and USB 3.0. You can just plug in like an old NES controller, or a Nintendo 64 controller, or a Sega Dreamcast controller, and
Oh,
have fun.
absolutely. That's what I'm
Uh,
saying. Like we haven't even touched the surface. We've been talking about so far
we've only
just
begun.
that's what I'm saying. Steam based games, but like if this is as they've been saying a PC that you can hold, the sky is the limit. You know what I mean? Like you can watch
Yeah.
Netflix, Hulu,
Yeah,
Prime. You can
definitely.
shop on it, like emulate, like you said. Like it's like
If you can make phone calls, which you probably can with like Google Voice, it's an engage. It's an engage. I'm back, baby. I'm
I'm
back. You
back. We're
remember when I had
going
that?
back. Oh
Uh,
yeah, we're
so
going back to the.
one thing I think is interesting is Nintendo. How long have they been doing handhelds? Since the Game Boy, right? And one thing
Oh yeah.
that I don't understand why Nintendo couldn't wrap their heads around is like human like peripheral form factor. Why is it that like this is their first like Valve's first handheld console, and they got like human form factor figured out? Which one looks more comfortable on your palm?
Well, I
This,
haven't held.
this.
All
Look at
right,
that,
I'll
like
take.
this
I'll say.
cutting
Yeah,
board.
no, I will say. I gladly agree with you because I've had many hours on the Switch and that
Yeah,
shit hurts.
yeah. I have
Like I
like a
don't like
rubber.
it's
I have like
there's.
rubber stoppers that hold it that create this type of form factor.
No, no, yeah. My girlfriend Doria, she has struggles as well
Shout
holding the
out.
Switch. We had shout out. We had to get a like an actual case with like handles, like not handles, but like an Xbox controller style, like for the grips.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier to hold and like hold not only hold the the control, but also hold the entire system when you're mobile. And it's like, why the hell does the Switch not do that from the first place? You know what I mean? And I think, frankly, it's because it's they don't design it for meaty hands. It's they trying to capture the entire market,
Yeah.
primarily kids, right?
Yeah.
So they want to be able. They design it for an 8-year-old, 10-year-old hands to be able to comfortably hold it. And I
Yeah,
think
I mean
that's why.
that because there's a whole industry, right, to like the design and science behind like
No,
why
yeah,
they do or what
human
they do.
factors.
Yeah, human factors. Like you know that. Like so it like it's interesting to think like what made him think like this, like cuz why couldn't you like how everyone's like about like even phones like right? Like look, it's thinner than last year's model by this like millimeter like difference. It's like why does it have to be thinner? Why can't it be thicker and have a fatter battery on it? Like, why does it have to be thinner? And obviously, there's like there's certain things where like it'd be great if they could make it a thicker to have a bigger battery, but at the end, then they would have a bunch of empty space for a lot of chips that have already been compressed. So there is a certain point where it's like it's almost like this is there's a certain point where like this is as thick we can get it for the battery, but also thin enough to where there's not so much air pocket for no reason sitting
Oh,
there.
plus, I mean, packaging is. I can guarantee if there's anything like the industry
Yeah.
I work
Yep.
in,
Yeah, I know where
I
you're getting at, right?
guarantee
The
you
more they could stack in a cargo container, all that. Yep.
every single millimeter has been fought for. You know how
Yeah.
many meetings I've been in where half a millimeter, everyone's dying for it? Like, I guarantee you that there's been thousands of meetings
Yeah.
like that
Yeah, cuz
in
I mean,
Nintendo.
even if it's something as large as a vehicle where most people think like well, they don't really have to think about that far. It's like the size of a vehicle is very specific. It's like no, 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 honey. It goes to like, the button like one like the push start button. If they can stack so many and eventually like put all the like a certain order and then and
On a
correct me if I'm
pallet.
wrong, yeah, on a pallet plus all the handles and then plus a piece of the steering wheel
Oh,
that comes from
just
this specific yeah.
the
It's
cost of
logistics.
the injection material,
Yeah.
not just to inject it into the button and make the button, but the material itself, how much can fit in the fucking, sorry, in the effing pallet
Yeah.
before it gets shipped to the manufacturing plant. Like that's all thought out.
Yeah.
It's all accounted for. So like
Mhm.
I guarantee they said we can either make this a little thicker or we can fit 600 more units in a shipping container, and there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, because like
But
there is thought to that. So I mean, it'll be interesting. That's where people were like, oh, like in Linus's video, like he was like saying how like you can't really like slide it in your pocket. It's like, homie, like what do you think I'm doing? Sliding this bad boy in my pocket so I can do a pop shove it at the skate park and like go over to the Sunday shop, get myself a sody pop and pull it out and like play
get
some
yourself a
games with it.
malt.
No, bro, like I'm throwing this in and out of my backpack. Like that's all I care about is, and if it's not even on my backpack, it's on my nightstand. Like I understand like where the thought is for that's for people who can just slide it in and out of their bag like you can with the Switch. But I mean that's so few. Like this is gonna capture a lot of different like people. So I mean I
and,
mean look how
and, and
big this is.
I'll be honest, like at the end of the video, so I know what you're talking about. Like he pairs the two in size, switch to this one.
Yeah.
But like, frankly, like, does it really matter? Like in my day to day life, like I'm not like if 4 inches,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
they don't really
No, I'm
matter.
listening. Uh huh.
I said it as soon as I said it. I knew you were gonna
What you
say
mean by that?
no. I'm
What you mean by
no.
that
I'm
exactly?
saying is what I was saying is like
Yeah,
I'm
say
not
it.
dying for space, man. I'm like I got
Yeah, I said it.
there's room in my backpack. There's room in my backpack. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yeah. Let me see. Trying to find where
But
Linus stacks up the Nintendo Switch.
he's at the very end of the video, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
okay.
Like it fits in between the
Oh yeah,
the
like
pocket.
where he got mad that they wouldn't let him tear it apart. Right there.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's a good screen grab.
Yeah.
Check out his channel. If you, I mean, obviously, if you're
It's
here, you
almost
probably
like
know.
it's almost double the thickness, like just the display part.
It's, it's,
Yeah.
it's a little thicker.
Yeah.
Granted, it can
Thicker
run
than a
games
Snicker.
better.
Yeah. Which I'm fine
You know,
with.
it's
I
not.
don't need it to be honestly like I don't even care if it's like if it's double thicker. Like it just needs to be comfortable. Obviously like the weight down is perfect for like to be able to hold it because you don't want something heavy to carry down on you.
No, for
What I would like
sure.
to see is this weight compared to like the Sega handheld that was out forever ago. I remember that thing was cool. Like I had a friend who had one, but I was like, damn, this is super heavy. Like you have to like sit down and like prop it on a desk. You see him like playing The Witcher. I really want to see
Yeah, it
like
looks
a
pretty
side by
good.
side comparison of The Witcher versus the
I'll
Switch
tell you all
edition.
right now, as a Witcher owner on this Switch,
Yeah,
you know what you tell people? Yeah, the game's pretty good. Story's good.
yeah.
You just leave it at that.
It's weird
Graphics
how
are
you
not
can
that
actually
great.
get nauseous playing The Witcher just from like the blurriness. You're like, is that my eye? Is that my glaucoma acting up?
Oh yeah, man. It runs.
It's definitely doing running.
It's running.
But
But I'm excited.
yeah,
I'm definitely excited.
yeah.
I'm hopeful. Hopefully optimistic. I've been burned before,
So you're gonna get
but
the high end
I'm hopeful. If I
650.
do get it, and I think I will. I'm not gonna be in midnight release first in line. I'm
Yeah,
gonna wait, give it a couple months, let it simmer, get expectations. But
yeah,
I also I want to invest my money in a company that's willing to do this at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah.
Because that's another thing. Because like I think it's a great direction.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And if nobody buys it, well then we're gonna we're never gonna see any other one like it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, not saying buy something just because, but it's like the first iPhone. If nobody would have bought that, we'd still be rocking the Razor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
Because it's
hopefully
like
optimistic.
portable. It's like virtual reality. How people have gotten burned with virtual reality doing like, um, not really virtual reality, but 3D like Google Car. They're like, I've done Google Cardboard, or like I have VR. I have this Samsung VR where you put your phone in it. It's like, you
Yeah, it's
haven't done
not
VR
VR.
until you can like get up and walk around, which is 6 degrees of freedom. VR is 6 DOF. When you're actually walking around your own room, like because you're trying to hide behind a box and go around, that's VR. Like other than that, you're just playing a 3D game.
Oh
So
yeah,
like it's
and
funny
I'll
how
be
like
the true.
yeah, if they can get this right, it'll definitely open up that market like with more people wanting handheld um uh desktop like personal computer experiences. Because what separates
Absolutely.
this from like a console and an actual desktop is that you can do more than just play games.
Think about it this way. And here's something that I've always tried to like, especially with like either like I'm not saying investing in it, but like new technology. Is this something that your folks really get into? You know what I mean? Like I could see my dad if again I'm speculating, but if the Steam Deck comes out
Speculate.
and it's like a portable PC and you can open up YouTube and search the web and do business and at the same time watch movies and just like a PC, but it's handheld. Like I think my dad would buy that, and I think it's
Yeah,
a good say like good way for people that maybe aren't into gaming as an only source
yeah,
to get into this market. And more people doing it is always good for progress, especially
yeah,
for like new tech.
yeah.
Like I don't know. I'm very hopeful.
Yep. Hopeful,
But
excited, and we'll see what comes of it
but
because
but if it's trash, don't blame me for buying it, all right? Because I didn't say go buy it.
I'm not a financial advisor.
I'm not
Yeah.
a financial advisor. I'm not a cat, so don't buy it just because I said so, and then come at me sideways
Yep.
with your complaints because I didn't sell you
So yep,
it.
the Steam Deck available on Valve's website, store.steampowered.com. We got
When
all
does
the
it come out?
different
Actually, this is
prices. Q2 2022. So save your money. Second quarter
2022.
2022. Yep. Reservations are like now. That's the whole hype of like
Oh
being able.
damn! I
Yeah.
thought this was coming out
This holiday
like
season.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was 2020. Oh shoot, forget
Yeah.
about it. Cause I'm buying all the goodies, the accessories, and
Yeah.
everything.
Well, that's a
2022. I'm
big thing
saving
too.
up.
Is like they I don't think they've actually like started manufacturing because they're still
I
building it.
doubt it. They're still tweaking.
They haven't released the gold disc yet. So yeah, if anyone's interested, you can start reserving it pretty soon for release second
We'll
quarter of
probably
2022.
we'll, we'll probably have a video update at this point.
Oh yeah,
It's
we'll make another
2022.
discussion whenever it
Yeah.
becomes worth it again.
Buy now or sell all.
Bye 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 bye. So yeah, that's it
So,
for today. 2 tickets to hell. Anything else?
uh, no, actually, for next video, are we gonna go to do movies or?
Yeah. We'll see what we discuss on the next one. That's it
Because
for
I
today,
don't know.
everyone.
There's. All right.
uh, just make sure you subscribe if you do enjoy reviews and discussions like this on entertainment, tech, and everything and anything we feel interested in talking about because we're very eclectic in our tastes. Again, thumbs up is always appreciated. Thank you again. And then leave your comments down below for us. Thank you. Goodbye from hell.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good evening.
Goodbye, everybody.